you for tuning in to another episode of Disrupt Health Tech. I am your host, Wendy Austin, and today joining me is Lauren Weiniger, and we are going to talk about the intersection of women's health, aging, and health tech. Lauren, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about your company, MetaPause?
Absolutely. So hello, I'm Lauren Weiniger, co-founder of The MetaPause. So we have built the AI platform for women's hormonal health and longevity. Basically combined our advanced proprietary AI model with access to full spectrum health interventions and benefits, Eastern, Western, and the advanced elite protocols. So everything from supplements to peptides and anything in between. For the first time, every woman will know what to do, what to take, and what to avoid for her unique body and biology.
Wow, that's great. So in your opinion, what do you think the current state of women's health is in America, and in particular for aging women going through hormonal changes?
It is laughably horrible. Yeah, it's not a very funny joke, but it's mind-boggling how bad it is, actually. It's a fascinating company to be building, where you have about half the people you're speaking to, or any woman over 40, definitely, generally over 35, or just any woman who's gone through any sort of hormonal health challenges. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just this. Everyone has gone through absolute hell. And then the other half of the population, so men who have not had like wives or have not been like that close to it, and women younger have no clue and can't conceive that it could possibly be this bad. What do you mean your doctors don't know anything? Like, and so, stats that again, half the population knows, and not like most doctors don't know anything about hormonal health. Most gynecologists, like there's a stat, 20% of gynecologists are trained to treat menopause, but like the real number is so much lower. And it's all of it. Like hormones are so powerful. They control our minds, our bodies, our moods. And every single woman goes through hell at some point. And when we go to our doctors, the best they can do is they're prescribing us, they're putting us on the pill, maybe, which is not ideal for most women. They're giving us antidepressants because, our estrogen falls off a cliff and we get depressed. But instead of treating the root cause, they're giving us antidepressants, which have a whole host of other issues. And yes, they're good for some people, but not for everyone, and not as first line of defense. Meanwhile, so I say there's solutions exist. There's no reason for any woman to suffer through this, which, by the way, can go for 14 years plus and is ongoing. 20% of the U.S. population is women over 40, and we have no health care for any of this. Isn't that wild? So
that's crazy.
Fixing that. Yeah, I joke, again, not a funny joke. It's the biggest opportunity that should not exist.
Yeah. So you have an app, Elsa, that helps women going through the different phases of menopause. Can you describe what the app is and how they can get started with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Elsa, so it stands for the Endocrine Longevity System Advisor. Really, I just want a little dose of magic, because that's what you feel like finally for the first time. This fairy godmother, healthcare doctor, coach, all of these things in one, has your back. So basically, you sign up for Elsa. You can sign up from the wait list now at themetapause.com. And Elsa will guide you through a series of questions like a really good doctor would. I'd say like a doctor, but mostly they don't. Trying to get to root cause. You can sync your data from wherever we have it, right? The more information we have, the better Elsa's going to be. Although she can do a lot with very little. So if you have wearables, awesome. Sync that Oura Ring. Your Apple Health Kit, Google Health Kit, great. Genetic testing data is really awesome. We can learn a lot. Not all women, there's no one size fits all here, right? So, and this stuff gets really complicated. Like it's a crazy complicated system. Yes, women are complicated. That's what AI is great for. Yes, we are. We can pretend that we're not. No, we're complicated, and our hormones are more complicated than men's. And we've never had a system that can make sense of all this crazy information and actually give us really clear, simple, right? Like digestible output of what should I do to feel better, to look better, to think like myself again. So anyway, so you sync your data. She'll give you opportunities to upload or sync your lab tests, or make recommendations for lab tests, as well as like cooler, new, like advanced diagnostics. Some of the at-home tests are really great. More and more are becoming available. And then based on what we have and your symptoms and your health goals, also will provide a set of suggestions. I would say I'm not telling anyone what to do. We're giving women the information to make the best decision for themselves. Also syncs directly into the communities. And so that is where women are helping each other today, right? Like we're all of us getting our information. We're getting it online. We're getting it on Reddit. We're getting it in WhatsApp chats. We're all asking that one friend that's like 50 and looks 35 and figured it out. And we're like, what are you doing? What are you taking? I want that. But what's great for her might not be great for you. And unless you're really putting on your full-on biotech nerd glasses and diving into the clinical studies of every single thing and staying up to date on all the newest, latest research, which is, by the way, often completely debunking what the doctors have been told over the past X years. It's just too much for any one person. And then on occasion, when a woman finally figures it out and all that learning is just lost. So for the first time, it won't be lost because also we'll have been there on the journey and we'll be learning from each woman's individual journey. I call it the wisdom trove, or building this wisdom trove of collective women's health data, the interventions that work, that don't work for women based on a very complicated set of variables that Elsa can simplify and for each woman guide her on her journey.
Wow. Yeah, that actually just gave me a little bit of like goosebumps. So, this advanced AI model that you have, it sounds like really great. As I said, I had goosebumps as you were talking about the actual like relearning of what the women's journeys are and everything. And we've talked before, and I know you have the ability with this AI model to just take generic questions. They don't have to be logged in. And it could be about perimenopause or menopause itself from the general public. How is this different than from a user who puts in the effort to go through the assessment, to provide more information like genetic background and our test results?
Yeah, it really comes down to that personalization level. So, again, we have a version of Elsa that's available to all, will be directly integrated into communities. Another like not funny joke is like the bar is really low. Like women don't know anything. Like that's how I ended up starting this company. Is I'd been a women building in health tech for a decade, and I realized I knew almost nothing about my own health. So part of it's just valuable if women are asking general questions of like, why am I gaining weight? I'm doing the same thing I've always done. Well, did you know that like after 40, your body starts to use carbohydrates differently? And therefore, if you do this versus that, like that will have a huge impact. Like just there's these general things that every woman should know. Like most of us are low in vitamin D, and that has a big impact. And pretty much all of us taking just my magnesium glycinate at night is just that little intervention should just be like, do that after 35. Now that's where the personalization comes in, because the way a certain type or delivery mechanism of estradiol, for instance, is going to be potentially metabolized differently for different women. I had an issue with, I was estrogen dominant, but part of it was because I was having an issue kind of clearing out the not bad estrogen, but essentially like you need things to keep mob moving. So if you're holding on to it, that has a host of other bad impacts. That's very personal to me. That's not the same as what you're going through. It's just not one size fits all. Otherwise, we would have solved it already. So, other examples like thyroid's can be pretty complicated, right? And this is where this is just this, massive like exponential improvement from our current industry, where today you go to an endocrinologist and they run a blood panel and you get your T3, T4 numbers, etc. It's out of the range, which by the way, the range was set on men. They're going to prescribe you levothyroxine. But I actually don't remember the stat, but some percentage of women that I'm in, we do not process that well. I was insane for 3 days. And my goodness, my sister had the same thing happen to her a few months earlier. If only I'd known before. Luckily, she kind of flagged it to me early-ish in my like health journey. But for the first time, we'll now know, and our doctors will know, hey, don't start with that. Do the
Right.
thing instead. Like with all the money in the world, which most people don't have, and all the access to all the doctors in the world, which most people don't have, still like
Right.
best case scenario today is like some version of whack-a-mole. Like try this, it's better. We're just gonna way narrow that down initially and eventually, relatively soon, like for some things immediately, have that precision sniper. Hey, this is your issue that we're aware of. And based on these set of variables, this is most likely to be the best place to start
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. So you talked a bit about the relearning, if you will, from the community of users, as well as you're using AI to actually see what others are doing. And you just mentioned a case that may not have been in the app, but personally with your sister. So menopause and Elsa, it's not really like other digital health apps for menopause because they're based off of algorithms. Yours is also based off of building that community of experts as well as the women themselves who are asking the questions. Can you talk about the value of building this type of community for women's health?
For us, it's all of it, right? Like it's on the one hand, we have pulled in, it's like 70 billion data points that it's pulled on, all the data that we could grab, what's out there today. But part of the issue with women's health is that we're missing a lot of that data, right? And no one's ever had this real time feedback loop. Like, how much does your doctor know about what you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yes.
Well, your doctor plus your MyFitnessPal plus your like 9 other things together, though, you start to get a little bit better. So that's where we start. And then it's this consistent feedback. Because again, like how are women solving this for themselves? It's in Reddit, it's in these groups. And so we're bringing this community piece all together. So it's this continuous feedback loop with both individual actions. So what did I say? Elsa told me to take these supplements and peptides and hormones. Did I actually take them? And what am I actually eating and what I'm actually doing? We have that kind of feedback loop. Plus the community, I'm sharing with you. I'm sharing with my friends and community. And Elsa's also proactive there to say, oh, hey, I shared this with you. You guys have different issues. You have this genetic mutation that Lauren doesn't have. Don't take that part. We're going to swap that out here. And then she's going to see if that works, right? And she's not going to get everything right the day one. Of course not. But we're also going to learn what doesn't work. And we're going to learn from that and keep it going. And this just hasn't existed in this cohesive way until now.
So that implies that Elsa has a feedback loop that they make a suggestion and then you go and do some action and you're supposed to come back to Elsa and report on whether it worked or not.
Yeah, well, no one's going to do anything because they're supposed to. I mean, some really engaged users hopefully will and do things. But we're building it for the user. I would say I'm just building the product I want for myself, right? Which is like, okay, like, I'm traveling today, which is why I have my fun hotel setup. And I, travel with many supplements, but I can't put them all in and my little creams. And do I take them every day? I'm feeling a little off today. What did I do? What did I take? So there's, it's gamified, little habit trackery kind of a thing, but we're building this in with challenges and other kinds of programs within the community as well. We've been had the opportunity to join certain cohorts. We're announcing this first pretty cool cohort soon here. And so part of it is, okay, this is what we're saying. This is what, based on what we know today, this is what we're saying to do. And you're making some decisions too, right? Like, do you want to do this advanced thing? Are you fine to take 10 pills or do you not want to, right? Do you want to focus more on nutrition? Do you want to focus more on exercise? Do you want a magic pill to solve it all? Or what's your budget, right? Like there's just different parameters. But once we have that, great. Now we're in the mode of doing it and trying it out. And how do you feel? And also, how do you feel when you forget to do it for a day? And by noticing these things, but having a place where women are doing it for themselves and for the community as this continuous community learning model, it gets better and better. So again, it's that, in the morning, like time to do your morning routine, taking this, drinking that. Okay. Like trying to make it not too intense, but hey, like I've been on TikTok recently, like I think all of our morning routines are getting expanded. Isn't it nice to know which ones are moving the needle and not as well?
Right. That's true. Now I think in your community, you include doctors and specialists, right? So there's any doctors or specialists out there that are listening to this podcast today who might actually be interested in what you're building at MetaPause, what would you like to tell them about how they can get involved?
Yes, absolutely. You can sign up on the website. You can also ping me directly on social or email. I can share my email, Lauren at themetapause.com. So we actually, every item within the platform has two scores of reviews and or will
Okay.
over time. And it's a little bit like Rotten Tomatoes. So you think about it like the critic score and that audience score. We have the expert scores. That's our doctors, clinicians, like licensed experts. And then we have our community score. So the experts, that's invitation only. You can also apply. And then the community score is application. And it's for, I call them our biohackers, like our longevity besties. That friend that everyone has that you're asking, like, help me. What did you do? You figured it out. Like you have the attention span to read all the studies and do all the things and try them all, right? So we have these two scores. So that's a really, really important part. And then as we're building this and bringing it out to the world, a lot of this feedback loop. Elsa is not going to be perfect, and she's amazing. She's already better than most doctors, honestly, but she needs feedback, right? And so feedback from the doctors and experts, that feedback from the community of women that are in it, helping them each other, helping themselves, is what make Elsa better and better over time.
Oh, very good. So speaking of being better and better over time, what's next for menopause and your app, Elsa? Is there plans to expand beyond menopause?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually it's not focused initially only on menopause at all. So we're pre, peri, post. We're really focusing on initially on this peri stage, which is women roughly 35 plus, right? By the way, like peri can happen earlier. The average age for women is 44 for peri, and it's 55 for meno, right? It's a lot earlier, and our whole, this is for our entire lives, right? And Elsa is absolutely created for women. Also, the definitions were set by men too. Like none of these definitions make that much sense to me, but whatever. So like, here's the thing. We have ovaries. They age faster than we do. We know that. We don't know why, because that wasn't studied, etc. But we just know they do. All these things start happening. It's longevity for women. We can do things so that we don't go off an age cliff, just like we do in other parts of our lives. Our eyes age faster than we do. We get contacts in LASIK. Like we can intervene and do things. So if you choose to age naturally, sure, do your thing, right? But if you would like to have a little more say in how your brain, your body, your mood, etc., just exists over time through your cycle, after your cycle ends, that's what we're giving women insight into so they can take the wheel of their own journey. Like it's the most important journey of our lives. We're all driving blind right now. So here's a map and a guidebook and a buddy to ride along with you.
Yeah, very good. Very nice. So do you have any parting words to women who are struggling right now with any type of hormonal changes due to aging?
Yes, you're not alone. And your doctor probably doesn't know how to help you, and that's okay. And some do, by the way. There's more and more do, but don't take that as a reason to give up. So there are, you're starting to see, Oprah's talking about it. There's a lot of incredible new research, new doctors that have really taken the scene. The menopause, doing a great job. There's a lot of resources. You have hormones, you have supplements, you have peptides. There's a lot of different interventions, lifestyle, et cetera, et cetera. Elsa is available very, very soon. You can join our waitlist, and we're going to be announcing this first cohort in very, very soon. I don't want to put an exact date, but say next week. And she can also help you connect to the right providers and or organizations that are offering enabled access. So, your health, no one's going to solve it without you taking the wheel of it. We're here to enable it. But you're definitely not alone, and you're not crazy. And there's so much hope. and it's not the end. So that's such an important piece, because women have been told that, oh, it's normal and it's aging and that's natural. You know what else is natural? Death. We have options, and we can take control of our biology to the extent that we want to, and we're at the very beginning. So
Yeah, very good, very good. So thank you so much for your time today, Lauren, and I really enjoyed our discussion on using AI and health tech to help women age gracefully. For more information about either Disrupt Health Tech or Menopause, please see the links below. Thank you so much for your time today, and I'll see you next episode.